Hello everyone, I'm going to be discussing all the changes to all the heroes in Paragon. I know it's a few days late, but I think it's a good time right before the Monolith Update comes out tomorrow. So we're just going to start off with, all the damage and stats and everything, they all change. And Twin Blast, probably out of all of them, has changed the most. His rapid fire, everyone's cooldowns, quicker, so you have it now. It's basically the same. It's a little bit faster. And then his grenade ability, it now doesn't slow enemies, but you can shoot it 3 times before having to get the cooldown to reset. So it's more of a move the damage enemies and do AoE, crowd control, which he didn't have really before. Except his ult, which they changed that, but his dash is basically the same. Again, pretty much all the cooldowns have changed, so I don't need to talk about that to go through this video pretty quick. His ult, he shoots 30 bullets in 3 seconds. The bullets seem to be pretty weak from what I've seen in some, Twin Blast overview video they posted a couple days ago, and other gameplay. Especially their stream today they had. Now, I would say overall he got the growth affinity, so overall he's just way better than what he was. I have no really complaints. Problem is, his grenade is nerfed because it got, I shouldn't say it got nerfed. It changed because he can't slow anymore. But it's more, damage and more times you can do it. So that helps him. And, his ult was really bad. It's probably the worst in the game. Now I have to see it in real game and using it, but it seems to be at least in the middle of the pack. Now Countess is pretty much, the same. The range reduced from that teleport, it seems. That's not that, that's a nerf kind of to it. Again, you get it in 10 seconds, not 15. Again, pretty much all the cooldowns have been reduced, and she's basically the same. Her ult, she's going to get, in the end of the game, 40 seconds. So, you can do high damage with her, like you should, and you have been, for most Countess builds. So, Countess really, I would say a slight nerf, just because the range is smaller on the teleport, but she's pretty much where she was. And her ult now is half the time at end game, so that should really help. Again, Kalari, I think Kalari overall got buffed. You got that basic attacks, stealth now are 250% normal damage, which really helps him. Again, everything else has really stayed the same. And his ult, it's 110 seconds no matter what the level. It's not going to change. So, again, that's a long time, especially in how they, most of the abilities, they, reduce the cooldown. So, he's about the same, a little bit stronger, his basic moves, but his ult's a little bit, I should say it's nerfed, because most of, in this game now, it's going to be so much quicker. So 110 second ult, that's going to be a long time. Feng Mao, a lot of people weren't using Feng Mao, but now you can see Reaping Dash is quicker. So again, that's a help. Animation for pretty much all of his abilities increased. He's going to get his shield ability, his armor thing, conversion shield, much quicker. And then his ult's basically the same, but again, the animation's quicker, so that because that ult, I've seen a lot of people miss it. I didn't use Feng Mao much, so I can't really say how hard it was to hit, but I've seen a lot of people miss it. And again, there is no longer a shield component to this ability, so again, I think the ability is a little bit better overall. And the range increase, so that really helps it too. Greystone overall, all of his abilities have been quick. He gets them quicker. His ults, he's going to get in 80 seconds at end game. But it doesn't knock up enemies, even though the knockout was pretty bad. Now it slows, and it's much quicker, so he's about the same where he is. Another interesting character, as we move on, is Grux. His smash and grab, most people are saying it's got nerfed. I would like to at least try it. I like using Grux. He's not my favorite, but he's one of the junglers I like. And again, his animation is quicker. You can do that smash and grab really quick, but the range is reduced. And it's not like a cone shape like it was. It's more of a wedge shape, like they say. And a lot of people saying it's really bad and it's almost useless. And you can kind of see it. You can see just by the description of it that it probably is kind of useless. You almost have to be... Usually you smash and grab to pull an enemy that is getting away from you. Now it seems you might have to use the charge, then use the pull. And again, I would have to use this in, you know, the real game, try it tomorrow. But again, that ability, it seems like it got nerfed. And it was annoying because sometimes you could even be out of the smash and grab range and you get pulled. And also, it was very easy to dodge. You just had to go right or left usually, and you could get out. So, we will see. His charge, again, is quicker. Double pain, 5 seconds. That's going to be a pretty strong move, and you can do it every 5 seconds. As well as every 50 seconds. So, overall, and the animation for the charge just got quicker. So, pretty much all of his abilities, it's about the same or better, except the smash and grab. And again, that's maybe just gonna have to play him differently, at least trying to pull enemies in. Again, let's go to Quang. And Quang, I think he got a little bit better. If you just look at it, everything's quicker, of course. His projectile speed's even quicker for Judgment of the Heavens. That's about it really to say about him. He's about the same. Chimera, he's got an interesting tweak to him. His health regen isn't as good, which a lot of people, I think, are happy about, at least people that don't use Chimera. People use Chimera, I know a lot of people are hating these changes, but you have to look at the ambush. You're going to get that every 5 seconds, not 14. So you're going to be able to jump on enemies much quicker. They're not going to be able to get away. He's going to be pretty annoying, I think. Problem is, you got any slows or escape abilities after he does his, he jumps on you with ambush, you can pretty much get out. There's nothing else he can really do, and you can. Again, I would like to see him in game because he was one of the better characters in the game, in my opinion. Some people wouldn't say the best, but again, he's just not going to get the health regen he was getting. I know he could go around 160 something, and now it's, you know, per stack at, you know, highest level, it's going to be about 3 health. You know, you can get 25 stacks at max. And the duration's not 5, it's 2.2. So, you're going to just have to get used to it for people like Chimera. Other than that, his ult hasn't really got changed. It's faster, which is, you know, improvement. And affected enemy target is stunned, so... Which they kind of were stunned, but they say it's stunned, so I guess you're going to be even slower or not be able to move even longer. Gadget, pretty much all the cooldowns have been reduced. The speed gate, they say the bonus has been rebalanced. So, I'm not 100% sure on this. I'm guessing it's not as fast. And again, no one can run in this mode. So, speed gate, if it was like what it is, what it was on Legacy, it should be a very good move. And Gadget overall is probably going to be used more often. Again, nothing really else changed. I mean, the ult has some tweaks, but it's about the same. Gideon, again, not much to say. His projectile for burning's quicker, and his Cosmic Rift. And again, the animation speed is increased for the Cosmic Rift. Notable changes is probably his ult. Now the ability deals damage over 3.5 seconds, not 5, so that's, you know, a nerf. But the overall damage hasn't been reduced, so again, it's around the same. Again, you're going to be slightly quicker, but overall that's actually maybe even slower, because everyone else's abilities are almost cut in half. So they get this ability 10 seconds sooner than you would normally. I don't know how you feel about those people who play Gideon, but At least the animation speed's quicker, but again, it's almost instant, that move, so I don't know how much that helps. Howitzer, I actually use Howitzer. Most of the changes are, they just pretty much buffed them. Everything's faster. The most notable for the cooldowns is the slow grenade. That's almost half. It's now 12 seconds. And the slow grenades, in my opinion, one of his worst abilities. Like, they're helpful, but you only can get them every 20 seconds. And I mean, I thought his landmine was amazing for escaping. He's always amazing for escaping and doing crowd control damage. It's probably even better now because this map's more enclosed. You can't really, it's going to be harder to escape, so is probably going to be better on this map. And his rocket is a slightly different. You can get it a little bit faster. And his ult is 50 seconds. So, I mean, if you build, say, a tanky howitzer, not a lot of people do that, you can escape by your landmine, your slow grenades, and your ult, and then you will get your abilities. You might get them again, and you'll be able to, bounce away or push enemies or slow them again. So, I think he's been pretty much a slight buff to a howitzer. Iggy, I'm going to kind of just skip over him. Nothing really changed. Just be honest, all cooldown stuff. Bellica, I would say she's probably slightly buffed. Let's just go to her ult. It no longer deals base damage, and I think the ult might be slightly nerfed, but the one good thing I've seen a video on, if you look at the Twin Blast rework overview video, whatever, the mana drain. Remember, it was two mana. It was almost, it's not useless, but again, it would shoot you, so it would be somewhat useful. But now you're draining 34 mana a second, which, if you've seen that video, about 3 seconds, for some characters, that's half your mana almost, or at least over a quarter. So this is going to be an amazing ability if people are not focusing on the turn. Let's just go to Narbash. He's going to be probably a better character on this map because he has that speed boost and he can heal. Probably be a more effective character. Otherwise, most of his stuff hasn't changed. He can give you like 40 health regen a second, which is pretty good. But for people using Narbat, I don't know how your opinions are, but the abilities, at least some people say, is probably his worst. It's not that effective. Well, now it might be with 40 health regen, but his other ability is more useful. That's just some people's opinion. I don't know how you, but let's go to Rampage. All cooldown stuff, pretty much. One notable thing is King of the Jungle is passive. When you're in the lane, it's going to do less health. You're not going to gain as much health. So he's technically nerfed in the lane, but in the jungle, he's buffed. I mean, this normally would happen, but now it's more drastic. He's even getting more health regen in the jungle and less on the lane, if you understand. His ult, though, is 40 seconds. I know that's probably going to annoy a lot of people. I'm going to have to see how it, works. He can also move. So what I've seen in the stream today, they would use their ult and then jump immediately. And they would jump, the distance it normally was. But they didn't have to wait for the animation. And it's really hard. It looked like to react because he just turns giant in midair. And he's on you. Now, just wait a second. Sorry about that. Just going on the Richter. Richter's about the same. All of his cooldowns are slightly changed. His ult barely changed. It's 5 seconds less. And it's worse early game, which you could notice for some of the abilities. Some of the ults, they're just you have to wait even longer in early game, but in late game you have to late game you get them early. Alright, now on to Sevarog. Sevarog's getting a huge buff. Man, first of all of his moves now, they get you they get you stacks. So instead of just Siphon doing it, now all your moves do it. His escape, you're gonna get it at like what, every 10 seconds into 22.5. Another huge improvement. His ult is not instant kill on minions though, but it's still, if you're high damage Sevrog, you should still wipe out minions, maybe in one hit. Again, they're gonna add to your stacks. The problem is now, instead of 80 stacks for max, you need 140. So it's 20, 30, 40, 50 to upgrade instead of all 20s. So overall, he should be a beast. Plus, you every soul stack now adds damage and health. I think it was just damage before. So again, he's gonna be great, and he doesn't even need to be a jungler. You could lane jungle. I mean, again, you could lane jungle every character, but now you can do both now pretty well, I think. Before, I would just say he's pretty much a jungler. Alright, Steel's pretty much my favorite. I mastered him and stuff, but that doesn't really matter. What is it, Bull Rush? That's going to be a little bit less range than before. Again, how much 400 units really is when you're going 1600 instead of 2000. I don't know how much big difference that is. Again, he has the Force Shield, which is always great. And that's actually, I guess the throwing speed has been increased. So again, that's going to be pretty, not much of a change, but, better than nothing. And then his Bulwark, which used to be the shield block, that used to be, I thought, terrible. I thought it was useless. Because before, you would slow down, use mana, and barely have any resistance more than you did before. So now, I think it used to go all around, you could get hit, but now it's just in front of you. It could have been that before. But now, just in front of you, you can back up and stuff, but you can't turn. So if you're backing up and they're shooting in front of you, you're getting 90% resistance endgame. So that's going to be pretty good. And it gives it more use, this ability. And it actually makes more sense than the ability before. So yeah, and then the shield slam is faster. So overall, he's been, I guess, he's been buffed, but his Bull Rush has been a little bit nerfed. Decker it is. Decker's probably got the worst or the most nerf. I don't know why really she got nerfed so much, but she did. Her projectile speed for both her slow bubble and stasis bomb is increased, which I guess is good. It's better than not having that, but again, her cooldowns are about the same. Her ult actually, it lasts shorter, and the range is shorter. So a complete nerf to that. Rocket Boots is exactly the same, but early game it's going to be less. So, it's going to be way worse. Other than that, she's about the same, but again, she's going to get the Rocket Boots way later than before early game, and then her ult's nerfed. So, she's been downgraded. Muriel, about the same. Her slow ability, or Serenity. Projectile speed's increased like everything else, it seemed. But it can't go through minions. I guess what people do is just shoot through a bunch of minions to an enemy and just clear minions all the time. You can't do that anymore. So, it's somewhat nerfed, but also it's 9-second cooldown. So, pretty good. And then her shield bubble, the value's been changed just like her ult, the shield value, so I don't know if it's better or worse. Plus the time, it seems like it explodes faster from what I'm getting from this. And also her speed thing, she gets every 10 seconds. And the shield values are adjusted, so I think they're better though. So I think she got buffed. Faye's also better. Again, projectile speed increase. Her ult though, way better. It prevents movement now, and it's also been increased the speed, so I mean, I guess early game you're going to get it at 120 seconds, not 100. So again, that's a little nerf, but other than that, you should be fine. Everything else has been way faster, or again, 6 seconds for, Harvest Nettles. So, like, everything is just cooldown way lower except their ult. Now, Grimmix, I don't know how I would feel with him. I would say his his deflector shield has been buffed. Instead of getting a straight like 130 mana when you reflected something, now you get 70%. So that's a ton of mana you're gonna get back, and it's every 10 seconds you can reflect stuff. So and then if you get all that mana back, you can use that displacement blast to slow enemies down so much more. Actually, no, that's suppression mode. Sorry. So again, you're gonna have that, and your little ball that you shoot the blast. You get that every 9 seconds. So you're going to be able to push enemies away from you, reflect stuff, and slow enemies down way often. The ult, though, you cannot move while using it. So that is a slight nerf, but not a huge... I mean, usually you go into this ult mode, you're just going to shoot it immediately anyway. So you should be fine. I think he's kind of got buffed. Murdoch, I'm going to kind of skip over really quickly. He really... didn't get much change. I think the traps were bigger. It says 160 to 230. They last 90 seconds before expiring. I don't know what it was before. I think it was longer. I felt like it was longer than 90. I feel like it might be a nerf. But move along. You can't hurt minions. Never try to do that. Don't know if it really was effective, but they nerfed that. Or they nullified that. The ult, now the animations increase. I don't know if that's just getting in or actually shooting it. So maybe you shoot it and you can shoot it faster. And it actually might buff the thing because this thing's crazy already. So, again, I have to see when I play the game and everyone else. But, seems pretty good. I don't think really anything's really changed on him. He seems fine. Same thing with Sparrow now. It seems like they have a stack thing with her. Maybe they had before. But it seems like you get a percentage on base attacks from Relentless. Actually, I think that was there before, but I don't know. It seems like that's a better move. Plus, you get every stack limit reduced to 10 to 5. So, yeah, it must have been there before. I remember now. But I don't know how much the percentage, what it was before. Cooldowns are about the same. Actually, it seems the hell of the arrows is worse because you're going to hit every 12 seconds instead of 9 at endgame. But the animation's been increased. Again, I think that needs a little bit more damage. I feel like it's like nothing. A roll you're going to get every 50 seconds. So that's a significant cooldown reduction. So, again, she's about the same. Much of the Rangers are about the same. Twin Blast got the huge change. Groomings, I feel like, is better. And then you have these people. Now, Crunch really fast is the last one. He gets all of his abilities instantly, pretty much. You got 6, 10 seconds. You got his old 10 seconds. 12 is his forward crunch. So you can just spam all these abilities. And they're strong. Like, he's going to be amazing, I think, for this game. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And subscribe if you like this. And hopefully you watch some of my other videos. Bye.